Evening, people. Big news. Is Salah, the king, Muhammad Salah. Is he benched? Is he dropped? Is he rested? I'll let you decide. I'm sure the chat will be popping off. The chat's been popping off at the moment is because we're 17 minutes late. And I thought I couldn't keep my eyes off. I take my eyes off the lineup. And I thought, you know what? There's so many ways how we will line up. The obvious way or the obvious choice would be Frimpong for Salah. And you know what? We go with that. But I don't know. Arnie Slot has surprised us on Saturday. He might surprise us again. And I just quickly put out a little on the ball structure, which would mean Frimpong would need to be starting at right back on paper, Szoboszlai at right wing. And I only did it is because I just thought let's try to go into the mind of Arnie Slot. But Szoboszlai, when Frimpong plays from right back, he's always higher and wider than Conor Bradley. And I thought, you know what? Let's just try it and see if Arnie Slot is thinking the same. That would need Sobo to come into the right side or as the second striker. And probably allow Wirtz a bit more freedom from the number 10 and help him occupy the left half space a bit more. So I've gone with that. Let's see. Like I said, the easy option would be Frimpong for Salah, and we just carry on as we know it. But that would mean Sobo at right back, and I do like what I think about Szoboszlai at right back, but I probably don't like him at right back if Frimpong is on the pitch. I don't know why. Maybe I just think Frimpong can do the little dirty bit. Who I've not even seen Galatasaray as a winger. I don't know how quick he is, how strong he is. You guys will probably know better if you've got any Galatasaray fans watching tonight or in the building. Then let me know how your team is. Let me just quickly go through their team. They've gone with a 4-2-3-1 according to SofaScore. They've gone Jacobs, Badashki, Davidson, Sanchez, and Singo at right back. And it looks like Gundogan is the number 8/number 10, and giving him a bit more protection, and that's probably understandably so with Torreira and Lemina, who always looks like bloody Franz Beckenbauer when he plays against us. And then they've gone Agshun on the right, Yilmaz is going to be running at our right back, and Osimhen, who we thought probably Icardi is going to play. Osimhen, it looks like. I was talking to a few few Turkish friends, and they were saying there's a lot of pressure on the manager. All the talk is about Osimhen. He needs to start. He needs to play. This is why we bought him for. And he's all over the news that he has to play. And it looks like, the fans have got their choice. The manager has gone with that team. And you'd have to say, I was speculating. They have played some games with 5 at the back. It looks like they've gone with obviously they've given Gundogan a bit of protection, but the surprise is Leroy Sané is not in the team. Is he carrying a knock? Has he got a bit of a niggle, or is it that they want proper Gundogan? Obviously, is not as expansive as Leroy Sané. He's not going to be creative, but he's got more legs and he's more of a midfielder compared to Leroy Sané. Leroy Sané is probably not going to do a lot of defending. These guys will know that they need to do a bit of defending. Gundogan doesn't have the legs, so give him a bit of protection and let him roam around and get into the box like we've seen him do so many times. But if I'm honest, if we can't dominate that midfield of Torreira, Lemina, Gundogan, then I'd be really, really worried. Let's be honest. And if they don't control the midfield tonight, despite the atmosphere in the stadium, I'd be very, very disappointed with Liverpool's midfield today. Let's go to Liverpool's team. He's gone with Kirkez. There's a lot of talk about Robbo and his experience and his know-how, but he's gone with Kirkez, Van Dijk, Kanate. Jeremy Frimpong is at right back. That's interesting. That's interesting because I was just talking about my um, on the ball structure. Dominic Soboslai is at right wing, and I'm not saying Sofa score right, but it's interesting, and that's the on the ball possession structure that I've just quickly jotted down on Twitter. And if that's the case, then I do sense that Frimpong is going to be really, really high, acting as literally as a right winger in possession. Kanate, Kirkes, and Van Dijk, Gravenberg, and Curtis Jones will give them the protection. And then Wirtz will be the left side 10. Dominic Soboslai will be the right sided 10. And then you've got the front three of Cody Gakpo, Jeremy Frimpong, and Hugo Ekitike. That's how that would work. If it's different, or not different to if it's normal to what we've seen, then Dominic Soboslai would be the right back, and then be coming into midfield and stuff like that. But I don't know. I've just got a funny feeling that we might see what I've just jotted down quickly. But it's a big night. Hussein says it's a big night for Frimpong. It's a big night. Or Slot said right back. Okay, so what is Slot said Frimpong at right back? Oh, is that confirmed, people? Slot said Frimpong is right wing. Oh, okay, not right. Okay, so it's the same as Salah then, isn't it? Okay. Okay, that's fine. There goes my little thinking. So it's like for like then, but I still think I don't know. Let's see how it works. Let's see how it works. Um, I guess Frimpong does probably have that more. I wouldn't have minded. Frimpong on the right wing if we've got probably two strikers. If you play a bit of a diamond with four midfielders, first at the tip of it, you've got the flying fullbacks, you've got Ekitike and Isaac, and then you've got the skill and the natural traits of Frimpong trying to stand up a man, get a half yard, and pop it into the box. But it is a big night for Frimpong. He's that cameo Avi was talking about the other day. It was an absolute joke of a cameo. But to be honest with you, he wasn't the only one to blame. He wasn't the reason that we lost at Palace. Let's be honest, regardless of how bad his cameo was. Excuse me. Ash with the super chat. Thank you so much, Ash. Nice to hear from you, brother. Always supporting the channel. Big up to Ash and his family. Kirkes left back with Jones left side in midfield and Gakpo at left wing. This is what I think might be the best outer words in the 10, genuine width and stretching the pitch, freeing up space centrally for words and Sobo late runs. 100%. I had a little a conversation or I engaged with Sam Maguire. You probably all know him on Twitter, and I said, what did I say to him exactly? Let me go to my reply, and I think he wrote in the summer that he wants to see Wirtz on the left hand side, and I've never been a fan. Yes, it probably doesn't. It gives him the space, and it probably doesn't allow him to go into congested areas. But if you spend 160 million pounds and you go from Soboslai to a number 10, I want that number 10 starting from the number 10 position. I'll be honest with you. Yes, there'll be natural rotations, fluidity. There'll be some games where we play him how we have to play him on the left hand side, but we didn't play it properly, and two, I think modern coaches, especially against one man-to-man presses, always want proper wingers, but that's another issue. I don't think Gakpo is a proper winger. He's a good player, but wouldn't call him a touchline winger. But what I would give credit to Gakpo is I think he's adapted over the last 12 months as best as he could. He's tried to run out players. He doesn't go on the outside as much as I would like, and many of you would like as well. But I think he has done well, generally speaking. But he has struggled as well in certain situations against a low block, against a really good fast right back to go on the outside. He does become a bit predictable. But I've always said he's a good squad player. But that famous statement, he's not going to win you the league. What else do we need to discuss? Where is it? Yeah. So what did I say to him? Let me just quickly go to my replies if I can get there. Yeah, here we are. So I said until McAllister gets fit and back in form, it has to be a Soboslai or Curtis in midfield with Wirtz as number 10, in my opinion. Only problem with Soboslai playing right back all the time is Curtis has to play more minutes and breaks down. He needs to stay fit. And then I gave a Gravenberg, Soboslai, Wirtz, and Gravenberg, Curtis, Wirtz, if Soboslai is playing right back for the second option. And it looks like Arnie Slot has gone with this then. Curtis Gravenberg providing the protection. And then the thing is, if Curtis does go into the third centre-back areas, excuse me, he's got the legs to get into midfield and join the attack in the second and third phase. But if he doesn't, and Kirk stays in the last line during build-up, then Curtis can go and hold width if Florian Wirtz needs to stay. It doesn't give the responsibility for Florian Wirtz, and it allows Florian Wirtz to occupy those left half spaces. And if Kirkes wants just a simple ball down the line, Curtis is there, and he's got the legs to go back into midfield. And we've talked about, look, McAllister is the brains of the team. We know that, but McAllister needs more settled environments for to perform. But I don't want to completely judge McAllister. I think that's wrong of us and wrong of me to do that. I think we have to judge it is when he's got his fitness back. So I think he deserves that chance. I'm not going to judge McAllister and say, look, he doesn't deserve a place in the team. I'm not there yet. But right now, judging by how his form is and confidence is, I don't think McAllister is in Liverpool's best team. Does Isak come on as him? Yes, I think Isak gets about 20-25 minutes today, actually. He did probably go an extra 10-15 minutes to the manager's liking on Saturday. But I think that was because Ekitike wasn't in the squad and he had to play 10-15 minutes. We were chasing the game as well. I think if Ekitike was there, he probably would have started the Palace game, because he didn't start the game against Southampton. And then Isak would have come on for about 20-25 minutes if need be. And then Isak would have started tonight. I think that those roles have reversed today. Ekitike has started for obvious reasons. And Isak, I still think, gets around 20 minutes of action. But what do you think of, how are you portraying this Salah? Did you think Salah needed a rest today? Do you think it was always planned by Arne Slot because of the new format? There's not the same amount of pressure to look for those wins. Do you think Salah is dropped? How are you guys looking at the decision? Hussein says a bit concerning. We wrote in the title, Salah dropped, but we put a little cheeky question mark just in case we get absolute blasted. Siddy says this McAllister is revisionism, man. He'll be in every best Liverpool team this season. Okay, he's not starting tonight, Siddy. And if there's one player that probably needs minutes, is McAllister. So if he needs minutes, why isn't he starting tonight? Tell me. He's not starting tonight because he's not playing well. Simple as. George rested. He thinks Salah is rested. Vansh is saying dropped. Tyrell, he's dropped. He's been off the pace. Looking forward to seeing him back after this. If I'm honest, I'm with that decision tonight. I think, look, there's bloody 8 games in the Champions League. We have to manage Salah a bit better this season. He's got the AFCON this season as well. So I think we have to look after him, and we want the best of Salah. And when you look at him, what I would say is caveat the whole Salah argument is I do think whenever we get him more involved, he looks the normal Salah. Just take your memory back to the Atletico Madrid game. I think we got him more involved, and his touch seemed unbelievable that night. But I do think sometimes you have to just give him a rest just because he's 30, 34 years of age. And even the likes of Salah sometimes need to go out the limelight and get a rest and then come back stronger on the weekend. And if we're all honest, the more important game is at the weekend. If Salah gets 30 minutes tonight, he'll be fresh and ready to go on the weekend. And then we've got Isak. I think Isak starts on Saturday, and Mohamed Salah starts on Saturday as well. Here we are. Fire away with your questions, man. You think I have any agendas with regards to Salah? I protect him more. Gakpo I go after. I'm not fair, and I don't have the same energy when it comes to Kanate or McAllister. Look, I have my opinion, and not all of you are going to agree with it, but I'm here, and whatever I provide, I'll try to reason with you as well. So there's no agendas, man. They're all Liverpool players. If Gakpo strikes a hat-trick tonight, do I think, oh shit, I called him, he's not good enough to win the league? No, man. I'll be celebrating just as much as anybody else. City, you all have this energy for more, yet no mention of Kanate or some of the other guys being shit, still starting. Let's stick with Kanate. I think he was getting arrested regardless. Kanate starting is nonsense. But who do you put in tonight instead of Kanate? Has Gomez shown enough this season that he's ready to go? Did you see how Joe Gomez played against Southampton when Slot came out and said, "I'm really, really disappointed." I'm paraphrasing here, but he was pissed off. He doesn't mince his words, and sometimes when he doesn't mention the players, he does have a go at the players as a collective. But when he was going at the players after the Southampton game, believe you me, and I think you'd agree with me here, City, that he was talking about Joe Gomez. So I know what you're saying. We need to look at Kanate's injury record as well. He does get a lot of muscle injuries. He breaks down. But it is a tough ground to go to. And I think for the first 20 minutes, we'll need to win our battles. And look, if Joe Gomez, it's up to Joe Gomez as well to play well against Southampton and give the manager a problem, give the manager a headache. But Slot's probably thinking, you know what, you played absolute shite against Southampton. How could I trust you in a really hostile atmosphere in Istanbul against Galatasaray? So I think, Joe Gomez has shot himself a bit in the foot here, where he might have cost himself a start tonight. But I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking. Let me know what you think. What I would say, generally speaking, Joe Gomez, when he does play and taking the Southampton game, obviously he's had stinkers in the past. That Napoli game in the Champions League about 3, 4, 5 years ago, he was absolute shite when we got battered by him. I think it was 2-0 on the night, but it could have been a lot more. He's had those stinkers, but everyone else as well. I do like Joe Gomez. Generally speaking, when he does play and he gets rhythm, he doesn't let you down. But I think Joe Gomez needs some minutes before he starts Champions League games. This may be the factor as well, and a point in Arnie Slot's thinking, where Osimhen really good in the air. Nobody is going to stand on Van Dijk. We know that. They don't do it in the Premier League. They don't do it in the Champions League. So he's going to stand on Kanate, and Kanate is very, very good in the air. And generally speaking, I know he generally gets battered by Mateta, but he did really well against Beto, and Beto has had good games against Liverpool and Kanate and Van Dijk as well, to be fair. But I think Ali raises a good point. It could be the Osimhen factor, where we need our two aerial monsters on the pitch tonight. Ash, I would have started Joey, but if Slot don't trust them, what can we do? But Ash, you have to back the manager, don't you? He sees these players day in, day out. Why do we have to question Arnie Slot's judgment here? What reason has he given us to question his judgment on the players? I just can't see it. I'm not there yet, man. If we start losing 3-4 games, I might be thinking that. Thoughts on Chiesa, Asim? When I was asking the question, um, last night, even after Arnie slots, personally speaking, I believe Arnie Slot that he's got a niggle. I saw the absolute meltdown yesterday. People were going at Arnie Slot and saying he's lying, but you guys, the guys who were watching last night, there are 2-3 people who I spoke to who are really close to the club, who work at the club, and said I watched that press conference and I don't believe the manager. And that's all I got. So if there's people who are really close and saying, look, I don't believe him, I don't know. But whether that is some trouble between the manager and the player, whether it's a personal matter and the manager just said it's a niggle and he's protecting him because of the personal matter and he needs privacy, then that could be the case as well. But if you want my personal opinion, I believe Arnie Slot that he's picked up a niggle, and we'll soon find out. He said he's going to be fit for Chelsea. Let's see if he's fit for Chelsea. Dem says, I don't believe him. Ash says, I back Slot 100%. I don't want Ibu breaking down. Yeah, look, that's a fair point. But maybe we can pick and choose the games a bit better. Would you have started Joe Gomez at Burnley, Ash? Would you have done that? Is it better to start Joe Gomez at Burnley away than Galatasaray away? I don't know. Some people would say yes. Some people would say no. It's a Premier League game, and because of the new format or the format that we've been seeing for the last 12 months, is you've got a bit more license to drop some points. So let him play the Galatasaray and make sure we get the 3 points in the league. So I can understand that point as well. Usnain says we are one centre back injury away from chaos. 100%. 100% we are. We are. Let me just quickly. Yes, I've not seen anything from Arnie Slot. I'm not seeing anyone aggregate it as well. Tyrell. But these being in our chat, you can rely on them. They won't chat shit. Slot, it says Frimpong is at right wing. Give me your predictions as well, people. I'm gonna literally be here for another 3-4 minutes. I'm gonna get some grub and then sit in front of the TV. We should be back for I did promise you guys, if I don't do the watch along, I'll come on and do a little preview. I was supposed to do a bit of a team news show as well, literally about 10-15 minutes before the team news came out. But I was rushing home and didn't get time. And I set it up for 7. I got home at 7:15. Hadis, no, we're not doing a watch along tonight. I'm at home. I'm going to watch the game today at home. I've got so many mates sending me videos from Istanbul. I'm really jealous. But yeah, here we are. We're here. We're not doing a watch along. I'll be back for the reaction. I don't know who is going to be with me on the reaction. It could be Ben, it could be Avi, it could be Aki, it could be Jake. I don't know where the hell Jake is there these days. But yeah, if they can't come on, then you'll just have to be disappointed with me alone. Kurt says, Asim, we are in for another stressful game, bud. I hope it's not stressful, mate. I can't do those Saturday afternoons, those type of games, man. It took a lot out of me. We've been saying this, haven't we, for literally every bloody week. You know what I want Verts to do? Even if he hits it in row Z, but I just want him to shoot at the right time. Don't hog the ball. Pass at the right time. He's been talking about the timing of his passes and the weight of his passes himself, so he knows there's a there's a thing to improve on. So I just want him to, if he gets in the box and just trust your shooting, you've got a good shot. So let's see what happens tonight. I'm going. What did I predict yesterday? I can't even remember. I do think we concede. I'm not going to lie. I think everyone will probably predict we're going to concede it tonight. But I think it's going to be 3-1 to us. There were a few 3-1s in the super in the chat. But I hope. Every week we're all sounding like a broken record. I think Havertz has to make sure he makes a statement performance, not just for the fans to start believing in this 160 million pound player. We all know, we can tell the way he takes the ball, the way he turns, the way he caresses a ball. We know there's an unbelievable player there, but talent at times is just not talent alone is not good enough. You need the mind as well as the body as well. So let's see what happens, but very, very soon, and it has to start tonight. The sooner the better. Florian Wirtz needs a statement performance, like I said, not just for the fans to start believing in him, but himself as well. At the end of the day, he's a 22-year-old kid, and he needs some confidence, and then hopefully that is used as a springboard to go on to bigger and better things. Okay, people, I'm leaving it there. It's nearly quarter to. I'm going to quickly get something to eat and watch the game. And I shall see you around 10 o'clock for the match reaction. 3-1 is what I'm predicting. I hope it's not a meltdown later on and we're all waxing lyrical about Florian Wirtz and about Hugo Ekitike. And then we're talking about the king coming off the bench and whacking one off the bar as well. Up until around 10 o'clock, have a good one wherever you're watching the game. And we catch you very, very soon. Take care and up the Reds. Bye for now.